And what's this?
That is the prompt that you gave me with the shape design. So I chose the triangle with the
Yep.
circle in it
Oh, right.
and
Yeah. Okay.
try to put my own concept to that shape. Sort of like the circle isn't so welcoming, but more
So wait, it's a
going.
triangle with a circle inside. Was that the goal?
Yeah.
All right. I kind of want to jump into that one real quick. Nice design and line work, though. So actually, before I even talk about the internal shape design stuff, one thing that might help you for more appealing silhouettes and shape design is to avoid even spaces unless like you really want them to be even. So if you were to look at this, that, and this, like they're very close, almost like a ladder. Now that could be intentional, that's fine. But I would, when things are repeating in an even fashion, there's no emphasis or push or pull one way or the other. But if you separate things with less of a pattern that's like that, you know, it's gonna have a lot more weight towards like a certain spot. So you're kind of controlling more where the emphasis is. So over here for the staff, it's like instead of the evenness, what if we took that given area and subdivide it into, you know, maybe 70% or big in this area? So that's the big, and then medium over here, and then the remaining part will just be small, and that'll give us certain zigs and zags, and that can be your new shape. And it's more, and it's I guess more wispy and has a nicer flow. And if you just use that, and then shade that in, which you could also do up here, you can kind of be an investigator, investigate like, is this the same shape and size as that? Yeah, and that. It's like there's a lot of same, very, very closely sized groupings. So kind of go in there and give it another treatment. And so from here, you could pretty quickly just give it another pass like this. Yeah. So you can kind of hunt for that more in other places, because like this has a pretty symmetrical reflection down here. If you're intending to do that, that's fine. But again, it's like you can use these opportunities to push and pull emphasis. And the thing that I would do is probably just make that whole top part big like that. And then a smaller, is he like wearing a dress or something? What is that?
No, I thought that was just like playing around with the thigh.
Oh, so it's coming forward. Okay.
Yeah, but
you see the problem though.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But perspective wasn't sort of the main thing. I did get carried away with it.
Sure, that's fine. These are just the things that I would point out. Having said that, to really drive home the idea of triangle with circle in it, the circle is not just a circle. It could also be C curves, S curves, curvilinearity, interlocking, blah, blah, blah. So as I go here, I like what you did there. That's pretty good. But as I look at this, I can see the circles in there, but there's a lot of, you know, sharpness that if you were to do the challenge fully, like you try to avoid that. So because you want the contrast of the external spiky stuff to make the internal stuff, I guess, really stand out. And the problem is, it's like, well, what if the character turns? It's like, well, we still want that part to be sharp, and you know, that's the whole balance of it. So it's a good pass, but how would I handle it? I think, and you could find a way to make something circular still look sharp when it's turned on a silhouette. And so everything on the inside, I'm going to avoid any sharp spikes or any right angles, and just make sure it's almost like a wavy, swirling hurricane kind of thing. Right. And so this interior design language really contrasts against the triangular spikiness on the outside. And you have another opportunity to just make that wing like really big. I think we might have a tendency to avoid making things too big next to our characters, because you might think it'll dwarf the character. But if anything, it just helps lead the eye to the character and frame it in a nice way. And one last thing, it's going to be a shape design thing as well. There's a lot of even shapes here and segments, and it's causing, you know, I know the flames are sticking out like that, so it's sort of a break in silhouette, but for the most part, it does feel like if I was to map out these apexes, they kind of have a straight line, and it's like an upside down tornado or something. So what you could do, or what I would do, is probably just make that deltoid really big, and then this really small, and then just like that, and just make that hand really big. And granted, it's like your own design, your own style, and what you want to do. This is just the things that I'm seeing and the things that I would push to make it more interesting.
Yeah, it was definitely hard to see what else I could push and pull after looking at it for so long.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yep. Well, when in doubt, just yeah, we'll take a break and then make a white layer and then just trace over, like, okay, can I distill everything into just basic shapes? And when I do that, do they have a nice relationship with each other? If not, like this, it's like, all right, well, yeah, there's a basic shape here, there's a basic shape there, but they're kind of the same. You could also fit that same triangle into here and another one there, which that could be the big, but I'll always go back to basics when you're in doubt. Cool design though.